This is how to let your silence do the talking. Breakdown of Narcissist. Hey there, welcome back to the channel. It's great to have you here. Today, we're diving into a topic that's been highly requested by our viewers, the power of silence. Have you ever stopped to consider how your silence speaks volumes, especially in dealing with toxic individuals? Well, that's exactly what we'll be exploring in today's video. But before we get started, if you enjoy the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others who might benefit from it. So let's delve into why your silence can be one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal, not just in post-narcissistic relationships, but in all aspects of your life. Let's get into it. So, before you crossed paths with a narcissist, you were probably an open, caring person, right? You likely shared a lot with others. Then along came the narcissist and bam, everything changed. Now think about your journey through life. From childhood through school, into adulthood and beyond, you probably believed that everyone else was like you. Maybe you thought they were empathetic, looking out for your best interests. Reflect on your past relationships. I can recall a time in 6th grade when I wasn't invited to a party. It stung. I realized then that I've been this way my whole life. I've always been sensitive to others' feelings, and maybe you are too. But whether you're an empath or not, being human means you've experienced ups and downs. Now let's dive into why your silence speaks volumes, especially after dealing with a narcissistic relationship. But hey, even if you haven't dealt with one, you're still amazing and worthy, just like the rest of us. Here's the deal, narcissists and toxic folks thrive on sucking the energy out of you. They want you to overshare, to spill your guts. Imagine this, you're chatting with someone, anyone really, friend, crush, colleague, and suddenly there's this awkward silence. You know the one, right? It's like you're waiting for someone to say something, anything. Now, if you were the one always breaking that silence, you're not alone. But here's the thing, in toxic relationships, you're often the one keeping the conversation afloat. The narcissist just sits there, soaking up your energy, waiting for you to spill the beans. They're pros at that awkward silence game. They'll stare at you, smirk, even giggle, all while waiting for you to crack. And guess what? It's not just narcissists who pull this move. Regular folks do it too. But here's where your superpower comes in: silence. Yep, your silence can say more than 1,000 words, especially when you've got the wisdom and tools to let it speak for you. Let me tell you, that toxic relationship you were in, it knocked you down, almost out for the count. But look at you now. You're still standing tall. You're soaking up wisdom, becoming more aware, educated, and empowered every day. And you know what? That's exactly where you need to be. Think about it. If you were meant to be somewhere else, you would be. But here you are, right in this moment, soaking in this content. Maybe you're winding down for the night. Maybe you're just waking up. Maybe you're sipping coffee, lounging on the beach, or sneaking a peek at work. Don't worry. I won't tell. Wherever you are, this is where you're supposed to be. Trust that. You know, when you were in that relationship, you found yourself doing a lot of things you never imagined. Explaining yourself over and over to the narcissist, saying things you never thought would come out of your mouth, and dealing with behaviors that seemed unimaginable. But here's the thing, it was all part of their plan, not yours. Whether it's a partner, a parent, or someone else, maybe they financially controlled you or held back love and empathy. Because let me tell you, a toxic narcissist, they're not capable of genuine love or empathy. Their only priority is themselves, always has been, always will be. You know, when you were in that relationship, it was like you were on a journey. Maybe you were the one who walked away, or maybe they kicked you to the curb. Either way, it was tough. You had to do a lot of learning, a lot of soul searching, a lot of growing. And you did it. Look at you now, standing tall. And now you're starting to realize the power of silence. You don't have to justify yourself to anyone from your past. Old friends, family, co-workers, you name it. Not that you can't or shouldn't share your story, but you're starting to see that not everyone gets it. Some folks have never heard of narcissism. Some might even be dealing with it themselves. It's only those who've been through it, like you and me, who truly understand. You know what's amazing? We can connect with each other in ways that others just can't grasp. A glance, a few words, a nod. It's like we're speaking the same secret language, because we've been there. We've walked through the fire, and now we're coming out stronger on the other side. But let's talk about that toxic relationship. It was like a minefield designed to mess you up big time. And oh boy, did it ever. Thing is, you were never supposed to figure out what was really going on. Nope, that wasn't part of the plan. Every time you got close to uncovering the truth, they'd throw you a bone. A fake moment of kindness or empathy, just enough to keep you hooked while they lined up their next victim. And while they were doing that, they were sucking you dry, draining every last drop of your energy and resources. And remember those attempts at adult conversation. Yeah, good luck with that. You tried to sit down and hash things out like grown-ups, but they always had an excuse ready. Got to boil an egg, laundry from 5 weeks ago, on a call, can't talk now. And if you press them, oh boy, get ready for the gaslighting and deflection. You're so insecure. What's wrong with you? Go get therapy. Everyone says I shouldn't be with you. It was like trying to talk to a brick wall, except the wall was actively messing with your head. They'd throw all that nonsense at you because deep down they're terrified to face themselves. They can't handle looking in the mirror and seeing the emptiness staring back at them. Instead, they'd rather keep you tangled up in their web of confusion and mind games. They want to keep you trapped in their mental prison, maybe even in your own home, isolated and alone. And they'll keep hitting you with verbal abuse, gaslighting, and all sorts of mind tricks. And when you're stuck alone with them, it's like being in a pressure cooker with no release valve. There's nobody to turn to for support or validation, nobody who truly understands what we're going through. That's the last thing you need. You don't need to keep explaining yourself or defending your every move to someone who only cares about themselves. So let's say the relationship finally ends. You're not going to get closure from them, that's for sure. They've slithered off into the shadows, off to find their next victim. And you know what? That's fine. The best thing you can do is cut them off completely. Get no contact, block them, delete them, do whatever it takes to keep them out of your life. And while you're at it, get rid of anyone else who's still feeding into their toxic energy. It's the only way forward. If cutting them off completely feels too hard right now, there's another tactic you can try. Grey rock. It's all about being as dull and uninteresting as a rock. Stop sharing personal info, stop explaining yourself, stop defending your actions. Just be boring. Remember, that relationship you were in, it was a harsh lesson, but it was necessary. If it wasn't them, it would have been someone else because you were vulnerable. Maybe you were too eager to please, too willing to give everything. Maybe you were just too kind-hearted, and you were searching for love or connection. But what you found was toxicity in human form. That's why these relationships move so fast. People get married in the blink of an eye, move across the world in a heartbeat, fall head over heels online. But they're not finding what they're looking for. They're finding a predator, someone who preys on vulnerability, who feeds on your openness and honesty. They want to know everything about you so they can use it against you. Once they've got those little nuggets of information about you, they start using them like weapons. They might start calling you by old nicknames or claim they've joined your hobby groups where they couldn't even tell you the first thing about those hobbies. They might even start dressing like you or using your lingo. It's like they morph into whoever they're with, blending in until they move on to the next target. At some point, that target was you, but it can't be anymore. If that relationship is over, and I really hope it is, and you're picking up the pieces or you've already moved on, then not wasting your breath explaining or justifying yourself is the way to go. Save that energy for yourself. Understand that not everyone out there has your best interests at heart. Some people envy you, some are jealous, some wish they were you, but they're not as resilient as you are. They're trying to drag you down to feel better about themselves. It's classic narcissist behavior. They're like, wow, I just pulled off this crazy manipulation and brought them down to my level. I must be some kind of genius. And now they're stuck in my darkness. They're stuck feeding me with their misery, discomfort, and confusion. I'm draining their positive energy, turning it negative, and watching them crumble. Their health, finances, social life, confidence, belief in themselves, all taking a hit. And yet, they keep coming back to me, explaining themselves, asking for answers. It's like they don't see the trap. That's what the narcissist feeds on: your uncertainty, your lack of understanding your own worth. So, why does your silence speak volumes? Because after the relationship, or even during if you're grey rocking, you need to distance yourself from these toxic people. Understand, they're not changing. They're stuck in their darkness. But you shine brighter than the sun. They tried to dim your light, and for a while, they succeeded. But then came the moment when you realized your value, when you armed yourself with wisdom and tools, and decided to close the door on them for good. So let's break it down. Silence is key if you've been through the arena of narcissistic abuse. Sound familiar? If you're still in the thick of it, drop a comment. Reach out to the community. Let those who've been there guide you or offer some insight. You're not alone in this. The deal is, you've been through a wild ride. It wasn't on any school curriculum. This was some foreign territory you stumbled into. But hey, you're getting out or already have. And now, you're a changed person. You're like version 3 of yourself. Stronger, wiser, tougher. Version 1 was pre-narcissist, when life was all rainbows and sunshine. Then came version 2, stuck in that toxic relationship fog. But you busted out, however you managed it. So you broke free. Healing? Yeah, that's going to take some time. But trust me, with the tools and support from the community, you'll come out version 3 of yourself, stronger than ever. Not everyone makes it here, but you will. You've made it this far, right? Look, 3 years back, I was a whole different person. But I pieced myself back together. And so can you. This is an awakening, no doubt. Once you've been through the cycle, you come out enlightened, educated, and empowered. Your silence speaks volumes. No need to explain or defend yourself to those toxic folks. Save your energy for you. Not everyone's got your back. My hope, that you're happy, healthy, and whole. And trust me, you'll get there. It's a journey, not a destination. Keep putting in the work, and you'll heal. You've got this. Catch you in the next video.